If you're a content creator or just someone who follows the AI news, you would have heard of Opus Clip. Opus Clip is an app which takes long form video content and converts it into short form reels with auto captioning added, ready to be uploaded onto platforms like TikTok and Instagram. They recently raised a new round of funding from SoftBank Vision and they launched a search called Opus Search. Now there is no free alternative available for a platform that could take long form video content and create short form viral reels for you. So I decided to create a clone of this and show you how you can build your own at almost 1/10 of the cost that it would take you to subscribe to any platform such as Opus Clip. To give you an idea, this is what the final reels look like. So the app is expected to take the long form video content, find the most likely viral moments, create 9 by 16 clips, add dynamic captions as you see here, and then give it to you available for download and ready to be uploaded. So where does this auto clipper help you? If you're doing it manually, you'd have to go through the long form video content in its entirety, find the most likely viral moments with a good hook, clip that out, convert it into 9 by 16 format, add dynamic captions, and then repeat the process till you find all of the good moments from, let's say, a 2-hour video. If you do this with the AI, it would take like a few minutes. You'll have a list of all likely viral moments, clipped it into short form content, and it's just ready to be uploaded. To build this auto clipper, here's a list of libraries which are to be used. To begin with, we are just taking the input from YouTube. So assuming the video is already present on YouTube, you'll take the YouTube link and use YTDLP library to download YouTube videos in the highest available resolution. OpenAI's Whisper model to generate accurate transcripts along with timestamps. OpenAI embeddings to compute sentence similarity, semantic merging. OpenAI chat completions to score the segments for virality. NumPy for vector similarity for semantic coherence. MoviePy to extract clips, resize, blur background, composite final clip. OpenCV to apply blur to the background clips. PyCaps to add dynamic animated subtitles on top of the extracted clips. Here's the flow within the script. We take the YouTube URL, download the video, transcribe the video using Whisper, create sentence segment that is convert into clean sentences. Semantic coherence, we merge the related sentences together to group them based on their similarity. Then we call this function sliding window segments to group them into blocks of 20 to 40 second for candidate clips. Of course, we can adjust this size of the window depending on our needs. You can make it more than 40 as well. Then we select the viral clips. We use GPT to score the virality of segments. Extend sentence boundaries. We don't want the clip to end abruptly mid-sentence, so we extend the sentence boundaries so that it's the edges are more natural. And in the end, we save the final clip. We add a blurred background instead of the main video. Of course, this is also optional. If you don't want a blurred background and you want to just keep it into a 9 by 16 format, you can use it that way as well. Then we run PyCaps pipeline, which will add dynamic captioning on top of the final video. I'll briefly go over each of these functions. Of course, you can see the full implementation on my blog post, which I'll have the link towards the end of the video. So here's the function which downloads the YouTube video. It takes the YouTube URL as input and the output path, and it will download the YouTube video at the given path. The next step is transcribing the video. We create a new function called transcribe video, takes the video path as input, loads the OpenAI's Whisper model, transcribes the video. We set the parameter timestamp true. So this returns us a JSON object which has got word level timestamps along with the transcriptions. Next function is sentence segments. So what we are essentially doing is splitting the entire transcript based on full stops, exclamation, question marks. Essentially each sentence should be split up into its own segment separately. And we put all of that into this JSON object, start timestamp, and the text words. The next function is semantic coherence. We take the sentences as input along with the threshold for similarity. We load the OpenAI's text embedding model, and then we go over all of the sentences, calculate the dot product between the embeddings, and we keep going forward as long as the similarity exceeds our threshold, which we have given as input. Next up is sliding window segments. Since we want our final resultant clips to be of a certain length, usually between 20 to 40 seconds, we create these window segments over the video, starting from the beginning and going over till the end of the video, grouping them into these segments, which will then be used for scoring. Next up is GPT score segments, which will take a text input parameter, which is the transcript of the particular section of the video that is our one of the candidate clips. We tell GPT that it's a content virality expert, and we ask it to rate the following transcript segment on a scale of 1 to 10 for its potential as a viral clip on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Consider hook strength, emotional impact, whether it stands alone without any extra context. And we ask it to return a JSON object with this structure, the score, and what's the reason why it thinks it's a viral clip. We pass the script of this candidate clip, and we load the OpenAI's for a mini model, and we pass the prompt as an input parameter. We take the response as a JSON object, and this will give us the score for each of the candidate clips. So we have scored, let's say, 10 candidate clips from the previous function called GPT score segments. Now, from those 10 candidate clips, we would have the score for each of those clips. This next function called select viral clips will pick the top n clips, ensuring that they don't overlap too closely. It's very likely that our candidate clips are often starting at almost the same timestamp or maybe 3 seconds different from each other. What this function will do, it'll take the top n clips while ensuring they don't overlap too closely. So it takes the segments as input and number of clips that we want and a minimum gap in seconds between the clips. This next function is called extend to sentence boundaries. Now, in our previous function, what we had done was we created windows of 20 to 40 seconds. We did not take into consideration that these windows are likely to make the clips end abruptly mid-sentence. Of course, we don't want that. We want to extend the clips to the sentence boundaries to ensure that it does not cut mid-sentence. So this function will accomplish exactly that. This next function is called save clip, which will take out the viral clips from the main video into the real format, which is 1080 by 1920. We are also, apart from resizing the clip, we are also making the background blurred, especially that makes sense when you have a clip that you want to keep the contents in its entirety in the center instead of having a 9:16 format. So you will have seen these clips in two formats. First is you will have this 9:16 format. The part here and the part here would be blurred video playing in the background, the same video. And this central part is the main video. The other format is no blurring, just 9:16 format, and the entire contents are here. Anything that doesn't fit within this 9:16 goes out and does not show up in this screen. In this previous one, the entire contents are visible in this area. So that's the main difference here, and you can obviously adjust, uh, tweak the code a little bit to switch between either of these formats which you want. In the end, we add dynamic captions in whichever style we like. There's a really good library for this called PyCaps, which you can use for it. There are a lot of different options for template of caption which you can use. I'm using here the hype format. Of course, there are others available. So hype is the one where we have captions in white along with the highlighted word in yellow. So here we build the pipeline, pass the input video, and we get the final video along with the captions added. If you would like the full code to play around, you can get it on my blog called datalooper.com. Thanks for watching.